Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning even, depends where you are in the world. But here we are, we seem to be live, and I hope this one actually goes out and doesn't get kind of cut off weirdly like Friday's one did. And very sorry guys if you were trying to watch on Friday and just couldn't find the thing. Yeah, it's up there, it's uploaded in the end, but I had to start the new one. It just seemed to be cutting out. Apparently it wasn't cutting out, but it seemed to me to be cutting out. So, Julie M is in the place. She's got barbecue beef in the oven for supper, laundry just about done, and a glass of red tea for hydration. Red tea is excellent stuff. I'm not a big fan of the taste of red tea, but yeah, it's not bad stuff at all. It's really not. Patty Palmer is in West Virginia. Well, hello in West Virginia from West Wales, United Kingdom. I'm right on the west coast of Wales. Irina is here. Hello, Andy and everyone. Hello, Irina. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever, and to you, God, it's disappeared. Jazzy Sophie, hello, friends in the chat from me too. Kat May is with us, welcome to you. Linda Bishop is in a stormy, wet Texas. That does not sound like a lot of fun. A friend of mine is hoping to move to Texas soon, and well, I keep telling her it's not like wonderful weather all the time because you guys got frozen out in the in the winter time, actually, when it's really seriously bad, freezing, pipes bursting, water not available, that kind of thing, craziness, but we're always kind of just at the mercy of the weather, really, aren't we? And I am here. It's not been a bad day here. I've got nothing to complain about weather-wise. It's been nice and warm, but wow, we get some crazy weather in West Wales sometimes, and touching wood that we don't get any right now. So, hi, Linda Bishop in Texas. Hi, Sharon Lee. Nice to see you. Vixen Doe, hello from Maine. Hello to you in Maine. And Irina is in the UK. Oh, right, great. We have some UK viewers. We don't have that many. It's just the way it panned out. I'm always very happy to have UK people on. So, a warm British welcome to you. Holly DeShane is here. Sharon says 2.02k subs now. Yeah, actually, that's probably enough subs now that even if YouTube suddenly take a load of subs off me, I won't go below 2,000. So that is really nice, and that is great news. Danny P is here. Hello from Seattle. Hi in Seattle, Danny P. Wow. Yeah, and my friend will be in for a shock with Texas heat. I'm sure she will. And you're in Birmingham, Irina. That is a great place to be, actually. Yeah, I often pass through that if I'm going up north because my family comes from Sunderland and I sometimes go up there. I haven't been up there for a long time, actually. But I always used to get the coach, go on the bus, and I would change at Digbeth coach station and hang around Birmingham for a bit, which was always good, actually, because it's all happening in Birmingham. I mean, Birmingham is really, really big city by UK standards. I don't know how it matches up to cities in the States. I've never been to any. I've been to Toronto in Canada, and that seemed pretty massive to me. Young Street just goes on and on forever. Anyway, Sandy Medeiros is here. Hi to you. Vicky Loper in Houston, Texas. Wow, and Marie Palermo is with us as well, from the United States Virgin Islands. That sounds like a good place to be. Bet you get nice weather out there. I really bet you do. And Digbeth coach station. Yeah, good. It's I don't know. It's a lot of people who live in places like that would love to live in the countryside like I do, and I feel very lucky to be here, actually. But I do sometimes think, it's really nice to go into a great big dirty city and just experience it, I mean, they have Caribbean takeaways in UK now. I've never seen anything like that. I've never been in a Starbucks. We got McDonald's a few years ago, but only about kind of 2015, 2016, something like that. But, it's all happening. Life is change, and I don't want it to be happening too quickly. Tuli Lazuli says, hi, people. Hi to you, Tuli. I'm glad you're with us. I'm glad you're all with us. We have got 14 people on board. This has got to be good news. Okay, let's start off with a card for absolutely everyone. And maybe it's going to tell us a bit about what's going on in the world at the moment, which would be interesting. It's been a hectic day in astrology. It's been a hectic week in astrology, actually. But after everything we've already had in the last 7 days, which would be summer solstice, end of Mercury retrograde, full moon, and then something crazy happened on Thursday. I can't remember what it was. We had a mad T-square today, and it's been a bit of a stressful day for quite a lot of people, actually. And we see this playing out in the world a lot as well. You know, it's not just the stress that gets into people's life. It really plays out on the world stage in quite a big way. So I'm having a shuffle, and let's see what we've got. Adjustments are required. Third quarter moon, and we are actually in a third quarter moon at the moment. Second quarter sort of ends with the full moon, and then third and fourth quarter, or third and last quarter, are when she goes back down towards the new moon, and then the whole thing starts up again. And this is it. Life goes in cycles. So whatever any of the moonology cards or the angel cards, the tarot cards, chakra cards, all sorts of cards that I pull, whatever they tell you, it's all part of the circle, the cycle of life, which I guess is part of the circle of life as well. It's just I meant to say cycle, so I wanted to get that said there. So there we are. Adjustments are required. Think of that, friends. I reckon most of the adjustments that are required are actually required to be made by like politicians and people who run big companies and stuff. I'm never sure quite how much we need to adjust our own lives a bit, but we are all in control of our own lives. That's something that the big authorities can never take away from us. And that really is the value of the spiritual side of life and getting in touch with that. And friends, if you don't feel that you're in touch with the spiritual side of life, and I know many of the people in the chat there are actually very active spiritual people, some of you more so than me. But, you know, I'm saying this for everyone, particularly the people who are watching the upload. And we get a lot of people viewing the upload, sometimes quite a lot more. I mean, we get sort of 50, 60 on at a time, sometimes, if I'm lucky and it's going well, during the live. We get about 120, 130 views of the live while it's live altogether. And they often go up to kind of over 300. So, you know, there are more people actually watching the uploaded version of this after we've finished being live than there are in the chat. So I address these comments to everyone. And it's a simple comment that I'm making, really. Just aim for some meditation in your life. There's a video I put up on, I think it was yesterday, Saturday, 5 ways to meditate. And it is not exhaustive. There are many ways to meditate. I just spoke about 5 of them in this video. But check it out. You know, even if you can only meditate for a few minutes, it's really well worth doing. And at the same time, you know, if you've got time to meditate, but you find that you fall asleep, as someone said she did, or, you know, you just keep remembering crazy little things, that's sort of okay, really. That's all part of the meditation. It's making you more aware of the obstacles that you have to get over in everyday life, you know. And when you give your time towards the angels, towards the spirit guides by meditating, they will make you aware of things like that. And they'll make you aware of ways around that, ways of getting out of that, ways of sort of making a happy situation, really. Seascape is here. Hi to you. Nice to see you. Right, now then, let me do some scrolling because I noticed questions coming in. And I didn't really kind of get as far as answering any of them yet. So let's go to Linda Bishop first, because she is asking for prayers for her 84-year-old friend, Joe, who has COVID at home as of Saturday. Well, yeah, let's all send a prayer out then. Okay, to Joe, who's 84 and has COVID. That's a scary situation to be in. I know we'll all want to send prayers, and we'll all want to send some healing towards Joe as well. And guys, you know, if you've got any requests for anything like healing or prayers, please let us know. That's just as important as the readings. You know, it's all about trying to get the best outcome out of life for as many people as possible. And I'm sure we all wish Joe some serious prayers about that situation. Quite scary. I've got a feeling she's going to be okay, you know. I mean, that's a hell of a thing to say when she's obviously going through it. But I've got a feeling that Jo is going to be okay, Linda. But thanks for bringing that to us. You know, it's wonderful to be able to send out some healing thoughts like that. And I seriously hope that everything comes right for her. I really do. Sometimes when people are at an advanced age, like their mid or maybe even late 80s, we tend to think that, oh, you know, they're so fragile, and they are quite fragile, really. But we tend to think that when a major illness comes along, they might very well have had it. And that's not always the case. I knew a lady who was in her 80s and kept getting cancer, and it would go away and come back, and it would go away and come back again. And, you know, I'm afraid all of our friends, you know, we sent her our prayers and our thoughts, but we all thought she'd probably come to the end because, you know, there's no way around it. But, you know, that was 10 years ago. She is in her 90s now and she's fine, you know, so people can get over these things, and I really, really hope Jo does. So sending love and light to her, and thanks for that. Zaneb is with us. Hi, Zaneb. Hi, into the future as well, by the way. Zaneb asks, what are Usman's feelings towards me, and does he want to marry me? Right, okay. Well, we'll answer the first part of that with some tarot cards. I think that's kind of what they're here for. It's kind of what they do best. Right, let's just cut the deck at this point. Right, I might have got this card for you before, Zaneb. I can't quite remember, to be honest, because so many people come and ask for a reading, which is absolutely wonderful. I'm not complaining, just saying I can't quite remember. But we've got the 5 of Cups here. Now, what's happening with Usman is that in some way he's looking back into the past, and he's sort of looking over things that happened to him in the past, and he's concerned that they might go wrong again. If you can see what's going on in the card here, there are 2 full cups of water on the floor and 3 have spilt on the table, and Alice can't reach the top of the table. You know, she'd like to get hold of all that water and catch it and clean up the mess and make everything okay, but she can't reach it, and she's ignoring those 2 full cups on the floor. And this is where I feel Usman is at the present time, Zaneb. He's looking back, he's sort of wondering if, you know, he's wondering what the future holds, and he's wondering if what the future holds is going to lead him into a situation where he goes through a lot of trouble again. This card can mean bereavement, but we often feel like that when we've been let down in previous relationships, and that's what I'm being told at this point, Zaneb. Okay, but he's got to make the decision to start looking forward. Okay, as for whether he wants to marry you or not, we will have a look now, actually, with the pendulum, and we'll see what we get about that. But even if he does want to marry you, the chances are he's going to be putting it off, because we got that 5 of Cups card there. Okay, it's kind of a sad card, you know. It's a happy card in a way, because it shows you the answers and it shows how things can improve, and that's, you know, negativity is not a bad thing as long as it's on the table to actually be healed, because the healing is a positive thing. But does Usman want to marry Zaneb? Let's find out. Okay, getting a gentle circle there, but a very positive circle, and that would mean yes. When we get a circle, that means yes, right? But there's something putting him off, okay? In his heart of hearts, yes, that's what he wants. But in his heart of hearts, there's also concerns about the way things have been in the past, Zaneb. So we all wish you the best with that. I'm sure we do, actually. And, you know, yeah, best of luck. Right, okay. Holly DeShane, this has been an exhausting month. It has, hasn't it, Holly? Gosh, and it's the 28th tomorrow, so it's actually coming towards the end. 30 December, and there's only 30 days in June, so it'll be over by something like Wednesday, as far as I can tell. But then we get July, and then it's going to be July 4th, you know, and that's going to be a whole thing in itself, actually. But hey, life is changed. Life is always moving on. Things are always changing. That's what makes life what it is. By the way, I've changed sets tonight. I just like to keep it interesting. And since it's Sunday night in UK, it's 9:20 on a Sunday night here in the UK. So I thought I'd sit on the end of my bed for this one. It just kind of feels super comfortable this way. got a nice comfy chair in my studio bit, which is over that way. But no, I fancied a change, so here we are. It's kind of more cozy here, you know, bit of a deeper background. Okay, Paddy Palmer is asking, do you see a windfall coming my way? Just putting it out in the universe, I need money. Okay. Right, now then, in a way, yes, I do, Patty, but you're going to have to grab that windfall, okay? You're going to have to do something to be in the right place at the right time. Let's just ask the pendulum about that. The pendulum is kind of shimmering, and it's neither going backwards and forwards or round and round, so it's not giving a clear answer there. But as I just tuned into that, I could see like the wind blowing money, a sort of image of the wind blowing money in my mind. And if you're not careful, it'll blow past you, Patty. Could it be that someone like owes you quite a lot of money, going back quite a long time, I think? I mean, I feel there's money coming to you. I really do. But I think you're going to have to call it in somehow. All right. So the thing to do, Pat, is get your manifestational thinking going. Okay. And just visualize that money coming to you. All right. Imagine almost digging a trench, like there's a river of money, okay, in the distance. And you've got to dig a trench to like divert that river of money so it flows towards you. Also visualize giving some of it away charitably, okay, making a donation with it in one way or another. That's always going to be positive, okay, and that adds to the general positivity of the whole situation. So there we go. I really hope that helps you. I've sort of lost my place in the comments at this point, but I do need to go down to the bottom and just see what is coming in. At the moment, we've got AP. This is the one I'm drawn to right this minute. And by the way, guys, it does take me a long time to answer questions sometimes. If I don't do your question, please feel free to type it in again. And it might be worth... as you're typing your question in the first place, mouse over it with the old mouse and just click to copy it. Or sometimes with a mobile device or a touch screen device, you can tap it in a particular way, which will vary depending on your device. I don't know. For example, with an iPhone, you have to tap it 4 times with an iPhone X anyway, which is what I'm stuck with at the moment. And then you copy it, and then you can paste it into the box, you know, the actual chat box again if I miss it. But basically, I'm always drawn by my spirit guides to whose question I answer at a given time. I'm always scrolling up and down, and sometimes one pops up and I just kind of catch it straight away. But I work with spirit guides. That's kind of how it goes. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be much good, really, because I'm not much good on my own. It's all about spirit guides, really. I've got a lot of experience of radio broadcasting and performing and stuff, but no amount of experience of worldly stuff ever really gets you in the zone to do these readings, which are exclusively powered by the spirit world. Wonderful stuff. AP is asking, hey there, may I please ask if you see an international move for me abroad? Thank you. Okay. I can see a journey across water, right? I've got a question mark as to whether it's actually abroad or not. I think it might be within the same country where you are at the moment in terms of national boundaries, but I do see you moving across water to somewhere. For example, if you were in the UK, you might be moving to Ireland or the Isle of Man or, you know, the Isle of Wight. We have many islands, something like that, okay? Not as far as you'd like to go is what I want to say to you, but you're going to be quite happy with the result when it happens, AP. So wishing you lots of positive possibilities, really, you know, so you can make the best of it. Okay, Kat May draws my attention to Sandy Medeiros, who has asked if Spirit has a message for her. Okay, so Sandy, thanks for your question. I can't see your original, what you wrote now, but Kat has posted it in there, which is just as good. So we'll do this now, Sandy, for you, and thanks for joining us. So, Sandy, You're doing pretty well, okay? Now, I'm not sure with what. Maybe that's going to come to me as I keep going along. But you're doing pretty well at something. Something is going pretty well, generally speaking. But right at the moment, there's a question mark, okay? I feel like someone's questioned your integrity in some way, okay? Don't worry about it. I mean, you've got every right to a full compliment of integrity. Yeah, I'm being told you're doing nothing wrong. But sometimes when we're trying to sort of build a new reality or make something new happen, which you are doing at the moment, Sandy, Rome wasn't built in a day, and as they say, a path is laid one stone at a time, and you can't finish the path off before the stone is laid. It's a fact of life. Just like, you know, I often do videos where it's like 5 ways of something, and like I said right at the top of the show, actually, it's when I do that, it's 5 ways of doing something. It doesn't mean it's the only 5 ways. You know, some people say, oh, but you didn't mention this and that. And that's, you know, because I only mentioned 5 ways of doing something in a 5 ways video. Whatever we learn, whatever we try and put out there, it takes time to assimilate and actually make it work. But be willing to make a decision, okay, in the fairly near future. That's something important, Sandy. You're going to have to decide which way you're going to go. And the thing to do is follow your heart, all right? Follow your heart. That is much more important than what anybody else thinks. It really is. Following your heart is so where it's at, and it's important. It's really important to do that. Okay, so best of luck, Sandy. Thanks for your question. Sorry it took me a while to get around to it, but I'm there now. 31 watching. This is very good news. Please hit the thumbs up button, guys. It makes a big difference. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button too. Shows the algorithm that the psychic stuff is very much where it's at in terms of YouTube, and that is no bad thing. Okay. Sandy says, thank you so much. You're very welcome, Sandy. And thank you for the question, as much as thanking me and thanking my guides for the message. Thank you very much for the question. It's your questions that really make this thing flow. So Tuli Lazuli asks, is there a satisfying romantic relationship on the horizon for me in the next year? Okay. Well, it's like this, Tuli. The desire for that is very strong with you, obviously, or you wouldn't have asked the question. But you're in charge of whether that desire becomes reality or just hangs in the air as a desire. Be willing to make a few compromises as well, all right? When we're looking for a good relationship, we're looking for something absolutely perfect, particularly when we're looking for a romantic relationship. But one of the great things about romance is it blinds us to other people's faults. So you've got to be you've got to be scrupulous as you scrutinize people. That's the word I'm looking for, scrutinize people carefully. But at the same time, don't look for absolute perfection, because nobody is absolutely perfect. There was a song in Britain called It's Got to Be Perfect. Sometime in the 1980s, and it just annoyed me, because real good true love is just not a perfect thing, because real good true human beings are not perfect. You don't want a robot, Tuli. So I would say yes, and I think when you talk about in the next year, I think it's going to take a whole year, but I think we're well on the other side of Christmas before this happens, to be honest. But yeah, it's out there for you. It's really out there. But like anything that's worth having, you've got to kind of give of yourself into it. So be willing to kind of change things a little bit, not just willy-nilly, not just for no reason. But if you can see, a lot of good in someone, try and ignore the bits that aren't so good, because the chances are you'll change them. Once things get romantic and once things start going in that really positive direction, then, well, as Julie says, real love is messy. It really is, I'm afraid. I've had enough of real love in that sense. But yeah, Tuli, it looks pretty good for you as far as I can see there. It really does. Well, we're with Julie M, and good evening to you, or good afternoon, in fact, to you, Julie M. Thanks for being with us. You are asking, does Spirit have any information on Gaia's ascension and our own? Thanks. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. And I'm going to find, here we go. I'm going to find my Ask an Angel deck here. Okay, at this point, because this artist who produced this deck, he's called Tony Carmine Salerno, and he works out of Blue Angel Galleries in Australia. He's a fantastic psychic artist, and he did actually bring out a Gaia deck, which I'd love to get hold of a copy, but it's really hard to get these days because it was a long time ago. But I did once look at someone else's Gaia deck, and some of the cards in that are actually in this deck as well, which is Ask an Angel. So this is the deck I'm asking. Oh, here we go. Well, this looks pretty Gaia related to me. This looks pretty earthy and pretty skyish as well. What we've got here is Archangel Azrael, like that, if you can see it. Not sure how well that's showing up in the camera, but there it is. Archangel Azrael, beautiful dove flying up, and the message is surrender. All right, and this is the way to really make ascension happen, is actually to surrender to the higher forces involved, you know, in our life, the higher positive forces, of course. And quite honestly, the dark side doesn't have all that much power. That's why it's so dark. It's always pretending it's got more power than it has. But yeah, the positive side, the true light of things, really requires us to surrender to it. And that's the message that comes through strongly with this card. But if we look at the dove ascending, it's ascending towards the sun. And that ascension really is going on all the time. And I feel that the more negativity is in the world, the stronger the energy behind the ascension actually gets. That's the feeling that comes to me at this time. Let's look at another card in here. Yeah, Sachiel, prosperity. Okay, and another one came up next to it, which is alchemy. So if you think in terms of prosperity and alchemy, and the angel there is Uriel, and it was Sachiel with prosperity. There we go. Those real positive things are there and they can happen, but alchemy is the key to it. And a big part of alchemy is deciding that you're going to live the best life that you possibly can. Okay, and that's a big ask for a lot of people. But think about it, you know, if you're living the best life you possibly can, then you're going to be living the happiest life you possibly can. And that's what we've really got to discover on our own personal journeys towards the ascension. But the ascension is a real thing. It is really happening. It was very much talked about around the year 2012. It became a really hot topic then. And I did once make a video saying, have you forgotten the ascension? Because not many people talk about it anymore. But, you know, that's what it's all about. That's what we're all headed towards. And that is the whole point of the spiritual life, to be quite honest, to get towards ascension. And as Julie says, I want everyone to have prosperity and really good alchemy. Yay, good for you. I wish that to everyone too. So thanks for that, Julie. That was a very stimulating kind of a question there. It really was. As Kat May says, you can book a personal reading by emailing 35andh3@gmail.com, which keeps going across your screen. Actually, it's just going across your screen at the moment, roughly where my finger is. And there's my PayPal address there. And coming up next on that scroll bar is my coffee.com address, which is coffee.com/twig. And if you leave a donation through Coffee, not only is it greatly appreciated, massively appreciated, but Coffee send the money straight through to PayPal. Coffee don't take a cut. PayPal take a small cut. But, you know, I'm cool about PayPal, really. If it hadn't been for PayPal, the banks would still very much be holding us to ransom, I'm sure. You watched that video, Julie? Yeah, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. And yeah, it's a big subject. You know, these things come into fashion and they go out of fashion. And it's a shame because they are eternal truths. I suppose it's natural that things would come and go from fashion, really, because we are all only human. But these are eternal truths, you know. And this is actually my only little concern that I have about putting the message out via YouTube, is that YouTube has become more or less fashionable with time. And that just means sometimes the message gets lost, you know. Okay, you heard that in Ozzy Osbourne's voice. Well, why ever not? Okay. Seascape is asking, what type of job does Spirit think I would excel at? Need advice. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Seascape, for your question. Well, I got the word medical, right? I'm just wondering what aspect of medical we're going to go with here. Medical administration. That's what I'm getting. Something around medical administration. And again, that's a vast area. You know, this could be working in a hospital, could be working in a doctor's surgery. It could be helping internet hookups for people who, you know, because of the pandemic situation, don't want to physically go to a doctor's at the moment. But yeah, medical administration. Those are the two words that have come to me. Let me have a quick look into the old tarot deck here and see if there's any more advice. See if they put any more kind of flesh on the bones of that one. What have we got? Oh, okay. 8 of Swords. Right. You've just got to choose to do this, Seascape. All right. You're sort of, it's not entirely your fault that you're held down at the moment, which this card does sometimes suggest, but you can get out of this situation, yeah? Now, the message of the 8 of Swords is always that the character tied to the sword could easily wriggle free. Not so easy for Alice here because she's blindfolded and there are soldiers standing around as well, which is no good, but she could free herself. Okay, so really put all your energies into looking for something in terms of medical administrative work. That's what I'm being told you would excel at here, Seascape. Oh, sorry, that sounds a bit boring, medical administration, but that's what I got. Mate, it would be nice if I could say, like, you know, be like a fire juggler or something like that. But such is the way of it. Such is the way of it. Okay. Right. Irina is asking, any messages from my spirit guides? So let's go with that one. You were a medical assistant 20 years ago. Wow. Well, it's specifically administration is what they told me. It took me a minute to get to administration, but you know, yeah, medical administration. That's really what they were saying there, Seascape. So Irina, any messages from my spirit guides? Okay. Have you been like dowsing with a pendulum or something, Irina? I get the feeling you've been actively trying to connect to spirit guides. You know, I'm sure you're aware that they're a real thing, and I know that you're aware that they're around you, but I feel that you've been doing something. No. Okay. Must be reaching out in dreams in that case, because I really get this feeling that they're reaching out for you. Well, the image I was shown was of someone dowsing with a pendulum, which I think I said, actually. And yeah, you know, we do that when we're trying to be in touch with them. Tarot cards, yeah. I mean, tarot cards are really pretty powerful way of connecting to your guides, Irene, but it's good to sort of focus on one deck in particular. And in some ways, I'm the world's worst because I've got many decks, but I nearly always do my readings from this one, Tarot in Wonderland, because, you know, I'm very close to this deck. I use it all the time. And the more you use a deck, the more your spirit guides get in sync with that deck, and the more positive connections you get, you know, the more solid connections you get. So do work with the tarot. If you've got a pendulum, Irene, it might be very well to start using it more then. Okay, you know, make it a regular part of your work, because I'm sure that I was shown that pendulum for a reason, you know. Okay, is there something more? I feel there's something more that I haven't hit on yet. Where are we going? Well, Irina, you've got all the connective ability and all the skills that you need to really kind of go places as a spirit worker, as working for the spirit world. They want to work with you. They work with all of us. You know, every living soul, cat, dog, human being, whatever, has spirit guides around them and working with them. That's always how it goes. But they actually want you to work for them, you know, directly be a spiritual worker, Irene. So yeah, that's where we're going with that. I wish you luck with that, Irina, and you know, do stick around and let me know what happens, because it's always interesting to see people moving on and to see things changing in a positive way for people. Okay. Erin O'Nugent is asking, and hello, Erin, by the way. I don't think I said hello to you yet. Does my higher self have any advice or what have you for me? I shall have a look now. Just want to mention that the temperature in Sherwood is 111 Fahrenheit today. OMG. That is pretty hot, is it not? Wow. Okay, let's do that one for Erin then. Anyway, let's see if we can get linked up and go in places with this. Okay. Right, I attempted to pull a card, and what I got was number 21, the world. Now, in a way, this is the end of the journey in the tarot, but it's only the end of the journey in that it's a stage of completion, and then we move on to another stage of completion. So if you felt the energy change, and I believe you'll have felt the energy changing recently, Erin, this is because it's actually time to move on to the next step, and you may be quite surprised by where the next steps take you, actually. I feel very shortly, if not already, you're going to be drawn to do some kind of work that you've never really done before as work. You will have done it as like a pastime or as voluntary work or something in the past, but it's going deeper with it. It's making a difference in that sense, you know. As an example, I used to be a woodworker, and my hands shake too much now. But when I first came into mediumship, Spirit wanted me to make wooden objects like wands and things like that. And I thought, well, I was a woodworker anyway. Why did they want me to do that? But it all led to me doing this kind of work, you know. So however wacky it might seem to you, Erin, just kind of keep going with it. Okay, that's where we're going with that. Okie dokie. Let's do some scrolling. See what we find. Go Rhino. Okay, come in, Go Rhino. Here we go. May I ask if I'll ever find love? Okay. Right. Well, love is trying to find you, Rhino. Okay, love has found you before and it hasn't worked out. That's what I feel quite strongly. But because of that, it's difficult for you to really put your thoughts out there in a really positive way. There's always a little bit of hesitancy there. Try and be really like wide open to the idea of love coming in. The more you open your heart to a situation where love can come in, the better. Things that have happened in the past are old news. Leave them behind. It's so important. The problem, I think, at the moment for you is really deciding what kind of love you really want to draw into your life. And it's important to let go of that. Okay, Rhino? It's important to keep just looking forward. Just be in it for the journey. And I remember I said this in yesterday's video about meditation. You never know where the spiritual journey is taking you. You never know where the journey through life is taking you. Excuse me. Hiccups mean I'm getting somewhere. You never know where the journey through life is taking you, or the spiritual journey, which are kind of intertwined. But the important thing is to just go on that journey. Just enjoy the journey as much as you can. Make the best of every moment in the journey. Because it's true that spirit are always leading us somewhere. It's true that life is always trying to take us somewhere. But every day means something. So make every day count. Okay? And if an opportunity comes up, right, grab it with both hands, see what happens, you know, but don't shy away from it in any way. If you possibly can, just take that attitude that you're just going to keep going with it and brave it out, Rhino, because love is out there. And yeah, I'm sure you are going to find love. Just kind of make the most of it when it comes. Thanks for that question. Red Heart Society promised to buy you a coffee, but my PayPal was so weird. I can understand. Well, hey, always gratefully appreciated when people send a donation into PayPal. Makes a big difference to life here. It's allowing me to save up for a Skylink broadband setup, which will mean that I can get like 4K resolution and like immediate quick uploads and much more immediacy as I'm doing the live streams here, because I did lose a live stream on Friday, unfortunately, and we ended up doing the show. You know, we went for a good solid hour and a half in the end, but about the first 2 or 3 minutes of it, the chat froze up and I wasn't sure if I was on live at all. There was no feedback coming through the YouTube system at all, and I just thought I'd crashed because I don't have great internet here, unfortunately. I was sure I'd just crashed. So what I did was I clicked the button to end the show and I started a new show, which meant that there was an ad up saying Twig Brother is live, and like if you clicked it, you would have got like 2 minutes of nothing, whereas you know, I was actually live. Really quite annoying how that happened. So that is why I'm trying to make it to a Skylink satellite dish setup. I despise what Elon Musk is doing, covering the whole planet in satellite dishes, but he's going to do it anyway. So I might as well, I think we all might as well try and get the best out of it that we can. Yeah, hi Lisa, hi Aaronson. PayPal does act up sometimes. Yeah, we've all had those issues sometimes. Actually, I ordered something a while ago, and I always do click and collect if I buy off eBay, because the couriers, the like you know the FedEx, the USPS, which we have in Britain, by the way, they can never find this place. So I use click and collect and get stuff sent to a shop. And went all through the PayPal, click and collect shows it all the way, and then PayPal just sent it to my ordinary address and it went missing. It took about a month to get it because it had to, the carrier had to realize they couldn't find me and send it back to eBay, and then eBay sent it out again. Absolutely insane. But yeah, this is what happens. Don't forget your water intake, everyone. It's extra crispy and flaming hot out. Take care. Sure was today here in UK. It's actually about 10 minutes to 10 p.m. in UK at the moment, so it's cooled right down. Nevertheless, I'm going to have some water because hydration is so where it's at. I love this water as well. It comes from the tap to begin with, and then it goes into a Berkey filter system. And guys, if you've ever fancied getting a Berkey, they are great. And I'm certainly not getting paid to advertise. I'm not getting paid to do anything here. But I would strongly recommend a Berkey water filter. The difference between the tap water and what you get out of a Berkey is just remarkable. I'm sure there are other filtration systems around like that, but they all seem to be the same form as Berkey. Like Alex Jones sells one for a very inflated price, actually, which looks to me like an ordinary Berkey. And maybe there's nothing ordinary about Berkeys, actually, because they are absolutely great. They really, really are. So, yes, Lisa, I am hydrating like a wild thing here. I'm going to hydrate again in a second. Sparkling seltzer water with fruit juice. Oh, that sounds wonderful. That sounds really good. I should like to have some of that. Let's do a question. Sharon Lee. Hi, Sharon. When will things start to move? I feel the trail has gone quiet. Okay. Right, let's do that with my bare kind of subconscious. Excuse me going quiet and not just talking constantly, but sometimes just have to quiet the mind and let the information come in. Things will start to move again, Sharon. The reason things have gone quiet at the moment, right, is that you're drawing in a lot of help from the universe at the present time, okay? And it's incredibly powerful, and it takes time to take effect in our world. And that's why things have gone quiet with you, all right? This is very true of spiritual development. I feel that your question is something other than spiritual development, but the fact is, the angels, I've just been told the archangels are working on something for you, All right. And it takes time. There's no time in the spirit world, but it takes time for things to kick in that way. Not there. Wow. Right. Hey, sorry, guys. I went quiet. The whole thing disappeared off my screen. That was incredibly scary. But it says I'm still alive, so I'm glad about that. God, that was just like, that would have been like the worst end to a live stream ever if that had been true. But it wasn't. Thank the good Lord for that. Oh. But there you go. Things stood still for me there a bit. And I'm back again. You'll be back. You'll be back on the horse again. You'll be back in the saddle. That's the expression I'm looking for, Sharon. Okay. In terms of actual time on that, September is the month that's come to me. All right. And that seems a little while away, but July starts like in about 2 or 3 days' time. So not long, matter of weeks. Enjoy the quiet time while you can. Okay. It's going to be important, that. Holly DeShane. Andy, am I truly psychic? I've been feeling very insecure about this lately. Well, you know, Holly, everybody has a psychic sense. Absolutely everybody, right? It's the difference between someone who's a psychic and someone who isn't a psychic is that a psychic has decided that they're actually going to use that gift and work to develop it. Okay, so you do have it in you, most certainly. Now then, just got a quick, just burnt my hand as well. I've got a candle going here and I burned my hand on it. Right, someone just bought me a coffee. It's not telling me who it was. Isn't that typical? But thank you so much, the person who just bought me a coffee. I really appreciate it. Anyway, Holly, am I truly psychic? Yes, you absolutely are. It's a human trait. We all are, Holly. Okay, a bit like I was just saying to Sharon, things take time and sometimes it can seem like it's all stopped. But that's because we're dealing with the superhuman knowledge, the superhuman powers and abilities of beings outside our world, of the great spirit who runs the entire universe, of the angels, of the archangels. And it takes time for things to sink in. Okay. I'm going to draw a tarot card on that. That's a pretty straightforward answer, that. But I'm going to pull a tarot card as well. To go with it. Yeah, Ace of Wands. All right. Lots of alchemy involved with the aces. So the more you do, the more power will come in. Okay. There's the stick, the wand there, which is a symbol of making progress, of being active, trying to make things happen. And the candle is just absolutely blowing up with positive light there, isn't it? So Ace of Wands should be, I hope you'll take a lot of encouragement from that. I'm not going to tell you what you should do, but I hope you'll take a great deal of encouragement from that, Holly, because you know you really are. Everybody has it in them, and if you've decided that you're going to develop it, then you can. The only thing can be, right, mediumship in terms of talking, having conversations with the souls of people who have passed away, where their body has died and they've gone into the afterlife. You sort of have to be on a particular wavelength to be able to do that. But even then, you know, since the pandemic, I haven't been doing any of the churches. And when I do the spiritualist churches, that's all I do is spirit connection. I've done quite a few online services and they've worked nicely, but I'm sorely out of practice at actually talking to people on the other side. I hear them, but I don't get their names. I don't see what they look like, that kind of thing. So, difficult one. It's just lack of practice. It's not being able to actually do that thing of standing up in front of a live audience, which is how I was initially trained to do it. But you're saying, I'm afraid I've taken it for granted for years. Yeah, but that's human nature. That really is human nature, you know. Nearly every show I do, I sit here with my feet or I sit over there in the studio bit where I'm doing the show, and I sit with my feet flat on the ground and a straight back, send the roots down for grounding, draw down the cosmic condom of protection, breathe out all the kind of the day, breathe in pure light. And I do that pretty well every time I go live. But there have been times, when I've been in a hurry, been held up somewhere, dashed into the house minutes before it's time to go on, and I haven't done that. And I feel I've taken it for granted then as well. But it's human nature, it's human life. Don't worry about it, Holly. Just keep trying. The biggest handicap to really being psychic and really being actively psychic and having stuff happening around you, the biggest obstacle to that is if you just kind of get into a space where you're not really doing it because you don't really feel worthy or whatever. You are worthy, you are worthy. Just keep doing it. That'll bring it back in. It really will. Steve is with us, home from Sunday work. Welcome home, and thanks so much for joining us. Hope you've had a good Sunday out there. I really do. Okay, let's look around for something in the questions department. Beverly Spencer is with us. Hello, Beverly. Got done with help with my yard work and then helping put up a greenhouse you gave your neighbor. Great stuff. Spreading the love, Beverly. That's where it's at. Great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Holly, no, sorry, wrong one. Hey. Can you have that many hays in a question? I don't know. In a sentence? I don't know. But I just did. So I guess you can. Hello, Andy. Hello, hey. Just wondering, do you only use tarot cards or oracle cards also? Yeah, both. I'll give you a quick sort of look around my decks. There's this one that I use all the time, which is Tarot in Wonderland. And a bit like getting to know your spirit guides and working with particular guides. As you get to know a tarot deck and keep working with the same tarot deck, you sort of get a stronger link to your spirit guides through that deck. And that's why I nearly always use Tarot in Wonderland while I'm working. But you've seen me pull Moonology Oracle cards. It even says Oracle cards on the box there. They work absolutely great as well. I love them. As I was trying to grow this channel about 2 or 3 years ago, well, it was 4 years ago when I really got serious about it, but maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I wondered if I should stop doing Oracle and only do Tarot. And this was a YouTube thing, okay? Because people, well, the YouTube algorithm, frankly, more than people, like you only to do one thing and focus on that. So as I gave up doing the gardening videos, I gave up the woodwork videos and made it all psychic stuff, I thought, should I make it all tarot or should I do Oracle as well? I even called this channel a tarot name for a short time. But no, what I do is cardomancy, and mediumship through cards, I guess. And Spirit are truly unlimited. Decks that I've had that I've worked with for a long time are, particularly good to work with. We've got Ask an Angel here. I used earlier. Haven't used this one for a long time, actually. Doreen Virtue's Daily Guidance from Your Angels Oracle cards. They are absolutely excellent. No getting away from it. I don't use them that much because Doreen has got a great long script at the end of every picture. And it doesn't leave the spirit guides much room to kind of deviate from the path, as it were. But another Doreen Virtue deck at the Ascended Masters Oracle cards. What else we got? I'm glad I'm sitting in this part of the room because this is where all my cards are. Messages from your animal spirit guides. And also got the Cosmic Tarot. Tarot of the Sephiroth. Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. That comes out quite a lot. I've got Chakra cards. The Tarot of Nostradamus. And this is such a cool one. Actually, this is the Mantegna. And this is a reproduction of a 15th century, very early tarot deck. And it doesn't have the usual characters. It doesn't have a major arcana or a minor arcana. But it's very close to the way the tarot actually started out. And what really matters, is the connection you get with your spirit guides. And I can't emphasize this enough. It's the connection you get with people out there in the world as well. It's you guys that really make the difference. You know, so I'm just picking my mouse up here. It's you guys that really make the difference. But yeah, I nearly always start off at least with Tarot in Wonderland, the Wonderland Tarot, if you will, just because that sometimes you find a new deck and it's amazing and it blows you away and you really want to work with it and use it with you all the time, you know. So that is essentially what I do. Okay. Let's do some scrolling here. Vivian is here. Okay. Vivian, thanks for your question. Any messages from angels and spirit guides, please? Thank you, Andy. Okay. You know what? I'm going to use this deck because I was just thinking about angel messages as I picked this deck up. And I have got two distinct angel decks here that mention angels by name. So let's go into daily guidance from your angels, oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Now, by the way, it says daily, right? You know, this is advice. This is long-lasting advice, stretching off into the future. For sure, it is. This is how it absolutely always works. You know, it's lifelong advice, really. But people have questions day by day. On today, there is a mad T-square in astrology, and it's kind of made things quite hard for people to handle. You see my 60-second tarot video for today, if you look on my channel, talks about that a little bit. Only for 60 seconds, but hell, that's life. Right, okay. Message from the angels for you, Vivian. Sorry, just a tick. That is so much better. We got this one. It says, listen. I'll back off a bit so you can see the picture there. That's your angel telling you to listen. And it says, quiet your mind, beloved one, and listen to our gentle reassurance that everything has been taken care of. Stay in a quiet and receptive state without worrying about the exact nature of your desire's manifestation. A quiet mind and body hears us quickly and clearly. This is our request to you. Listen. Okay? So it's in the hands of the angels, okay? What you're really trying to manifest in this life at the moment is in the hands of the angels, and the angels are absolutely on the case with you and for you, Vivian. That is our card on the matter. But I was just saying I always use the tarot, so I'm going to use the tarot as well. Just putting that box out of the way for a moment. Here we go. Let's do a tarot card for you on that as well. Okay. Two of Cups. Right. Very similar idea. Okay. It doesn't say listen on it. That's true. But the fact is the higher realms are most definitely on the case. In your case, the angels. And it's this green teapot pouring something cosmic down into the two cups that the Mad Hatter and the Mad March are holding. So as mad as their lives are, real good intuition is coming in, knowledge is coming in, new ways of doing things. And Vivian, I want to say to you, you will be given the words. I feel there's a difficult conversation somewhere ahead of you in your future, and you will be given the words. So don't worry, just, you know, go in headlong if you need to, but don't avoid it, whatever you do. So important. Okay. Now then, as Aaron's son, Lisa, and thanks, by the way, Lisa, and all the moderators, I really appreciate what you guys do. It makes a world of difference. I couldn't do it without you. Lisa is such a moderator, and she is saying, if you'd like a personal reading from Twig Brother, whose name is Andy, by the way, please email me here, 35and83@gmail.com. That is 35and83@gmail.com. And you will find that email address and my coffee.com address and my PayPal address down there in the description below. So please do check it out. It also says in the description down below, for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. Okay, I have to put that there, guys. Okay, I'm just not allowed to go around guaranteeing things like that, you know, without saying, you know, for entertainment purposes only. I personally very, very strongly believe in this. you know, and I'm known for my results. You know, I'm quite confident, but I do have to say for entertainment purposes only. Thule, please pull a card for Lucky and me. What can I learn? Okay, that sounds like an oracle card to me, actually. So let's go with Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell, which I didn't use in the last show at all because it was out of reach at the time. I just didn't gather all my cards, or I didn't gather these ones around me anyway. So it's having its first outing now for like a week or something. So let's do a card for Lucky and Thule. What can I learn? Soul Family says, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Excuse my filthy fingernails, by the way. Life is change and I'm gardening and stuff half the time. Soul Family, right? So Lucky and you kind of, I feel you're meant to be together, you know, and I'm not just for a short time. And the comings and goings are all, you know, part of a bigger picture. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Just, you know, call on friends, I want to say. Right, I want to say Lucky is part of that tribe, most certainly. But I want to say, you know, call on friends. I'm not sure in what way your friends can help you, but friends can always help. That's the thing, you know, one of the best things, well, just about the best thing you can have in life is a friend. You've got spirit friends on the case as well, but focusing on the picture here, okay? What we're looking at is a soul level connection there, really. Dolphins jumping up out of the sea and whales jumping up out of the sea. They're doing it in pairs, and these people here are working in a pair as well, right? And I want to give this one out. This is the next card, and a voice just said, do this one as well. Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Right? Seems to me Lucky is a bit happy-go-lucky, all right? So you're going to have to sort of be your own mother and comfort yourself a fair bit there, Thule. Okay, but it is a soul-level connection. And in terms of what you can learn, it's just the journey of life is always going to be teaching you, is always going to be taking you further and further, you know? And one of the ways that spiritual journey takes us places is by actually working through relationships, yeah? Hey says, I have one tarot deck and I'm looking to buy some more cards, but waiting for something to call it at me. Well, I know that wasn't a question, and you're probably talking to someone else actually, but I was drawn to it. And I want to say, check out the Halloween Tarot, all right? And it's not Halloween for a long time, but check out the Halloween Tarot. It's a fantastic deck. I'm really hoping to get a copy soon. I believe Adrienne is sending me one. Hope she's okay, but I'm not seeing her here tonight. But I hope Adrienne is doing well and happy and healthy. And she's supposed to be sending me a copy of that deck. So I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into it. I've seen Danny Shea use it on Bathrobe Tarot, and it was absolutely great. So that would be my recommendation. It really would. There's a question from Julie M here. The Israeli National Rescue Unit has come to Florida to help find survivors in the condo collapse. I heard about that. Wow. Are there any still living trapped in the rubble? I got it, you know, I haven't picked a pendulum up or anything. I got a massive, the word yes massively in my head there. Let's ask the pendulum. Okay. Are there any still living trapped in that rubble? Spirit of the pendulum, please let us know in Florida. Yeah, that's a really positive yes. And if it had been a small circle, I would have said they were in like jeopardy, you know, there were going to be a lot of deaths, but there's a lot of people with a lot to live for still trapped in that rubble. So, you know, I'm sure that more survivors are going to be found, and I'm sure that most of them are going to be found alive, actually. Sadly, not everyone, you know, that's the way it always goes. But, yeah, lots of positive vibes around that one, most certainly. Yeah. And guys, let's all actually, you know, as we sent out healing to Joe with COVID earlier on, let's all send some healing energy towards that condo collapse in Florida. And there's been two things in the States in the last few days. I forget the other one, but send that healing energy out that way. And just trust in the power of healing, because the healing angels can do so much as long as everyone's kind of sending their energy and keeps asking them. Wow. Hope they find people. Yeah, it does. Gives people hope when they find people, as Marianne says. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Julie, you're very welcome. Holly Deshane says, yeah, Moonology cards are a good starter deck. Yeah, I would agree with that, actually. They're very sort of pure and simple in their advice. And this is great, actually, because they don't tell you a lot. And that really gets you working with your guides as you're working out what it's all about. There is a book that goes with it. And so there are really good, really thorough explanations in this book about, every card. Every card has this big kind of explanation behind it. But even so, as you take a card in your hand, it's always a simple message with Moonology, and that allows the angels and it allows your spirit guides to actually talk into your thoughts about it. Great deck, Moonology. I love working with it. And I sometimes do cards on Instagram from that as well. Like a quick pick a card, 3 cards, pick a card on Instagram or Facebook. And I'm on Facebook as Andy Lynch, Lynch is my last name. If you can look me up on Facebook, great. On Instagram, I'm something crazy. Let me find out. Let me just, give out my Instagram on here at this point. Okay. So where's Instagram? It'll tell me now, I hope. Got my phone here. What's my Instagram phone? Come on, tell me. It's taken ages to load because I'm doing a live thing at the moment. Oh, we might just have to wait and see on that one. It's obviously not going to load up anytime soon. But, who cares? Facebook, and sometimes Instagram too. I do a pick a card, so it's cool. Lisa has the Halloween deck. A lot of fun to work with and easy to... Great. I think it'll be a lot of fun to work with, actually. I really do. What have we got here? My phone's flashing something at me now. What was that? Oh, God. Right. I can't get my Instagram right now because I've got to give them permission for some new thing they've come up with. Oh, wow. I guess that's good news, actually. They're asking our permission now to... for their apps to track us. That is something good because they certainly were doing it before and they certainly weren't asking permission before. Here's a recommendation from Vixen Doe. The Field Guide to Garden Dragons is very cute. That sounds good. I like the sound of that. I've never heard of that before. I might look that one up, actually, because I live in Wales, which is the land of the dragon. Really is. Tuli says, back to the drawing board. Thanks. Well, keep drawing that positive picture, Tuli. It's the only thing to do. You're a musician. You know how to, make things real through art. I'm sure you can do it. Really sure. Marcia Humble is asking for a card. Andy, I would love a card today. I would love to do one for you, Marcia. Just a second. Got to keep hydrating here. It's a nice cool evening here. It's 15 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I should look it up one of these days. And I'll have a table here so I can talk intelligently across the pond about the temperature. But that is just not too hot. But, it's not too cold either. It's quite pleasant. So keeping on hydrating. Let's bring out this wonderful deck, which I haven't used in this show so far. Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray. Can't go wrong with this one. So a card for Marcia Humble. Let's get stuck in there. I'm going to give this a good shuffle. And then I'm going to draw out the card and we'll see what we get for Marcia. Okay, let's cut the deck. Joan of Arc, Voice of Truth. Stand strong, it says. There she is. Stand strong. Focus on your purpose. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. Sharon Milton, if you're watching, thanks for your email. I will be in touch really soon. Okay. So yeah, Joan of Arc, Voice of Truth, stand strong. Focus on your purpose. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. So has someone been getting at you, Marcia? They've got no blinking business because you're quite a gentle soul. And I feel because of that, people do sometimes kind of put on you and get on you. Keep speaking your truth, Marcia. Okay, and sort of brave it out if you have to, you know. But do keep on speaking that truth, okay? I don't think you're being persecuted quite as much as Joan of Arc was, but speaking your truth is really, really what's important. That's what sort of just awakens the spiritual presence around you and makes things happen. So I wish you totally all of the best with that. Lisa's Moonology deck practically screams answers out. Yeah. It is a kind of a cheeky deck, I suppose, but it's a good one. It really is. Okay, Red Hat Society. Do my spirit guides have a message for me? Or may I have a card, please? I would say both, quite honestly. I really would. Okay, and I actually think that we should use Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light for you as well. Actually, and this is a great deck to work with. It's not a tarot deck, but it's a wonderful deck. Right, Bridget, inner strength. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. That's what Bridget says, and it's a turquoise-based card here as well. This is turquoise, kind of different turquoise to my top, but quite similar. Yeah. Moving back to wholeness is all about recognizing that you have the power, actually. And what's crucial is that it's your power and it's your truth that you speak as you go forward. Okay. Let me try and tune in a bit. All right. Red Hat Society, I feel you've either got some sort of special link with the Native American energies, or you've been looking into that very recently. But I just saw kind of an Indian chief, hell of a lot of feathers right down to the ground from his headdress, an Indian chief, and a buffalo standing next to him as well. So I'm sure that your spirit guides have a definite link to all of that, you know, all of that Native American wisdom. Absolutely, for sure. But and your cat is watching with you. Well, great. Okay, that's a pretty good spirit connection as well. But yeah, inner strength, you know, call on your inner strength. And if you feel that your inner strength is depleted, take some time out in some way if you want, you know, and don't feel you've got to be like spiritually in practice all the time, every single minute of every single day. But you know, take things into your own hands, okay, and get back to wholeness that way. That's really the way to do it. Okay. Marianne asks, did my father-in-law rattle our doorknob having unexpected home repairs? Let's do a pendulum on that one. Okay, I'm drawn to the aventurine pendulum here. Something with your father-in-law is completely healed. That's just come to me. The situation there is completely healed. I think a health problem with him. Everything is healed. Everything is fine with him. That's what I'm being told. Did he rattle your doorknob? Yeah, it's a very conclusive yes. That pendulum is... Well, it's a really big yes. The pendulum is really whirling around there. So that's definitely a yes. And guys, as I'm talking about working with a particular deck, I always work with Tarot in Wonderland, and strengthening the connections. Working with a particular pendulum is good, really good actually, because you know they have crystals on them, and that helps a lot. But just doing pendulum readings, you'll have a kind of spirit of the pendulum around you who can do great things. Oh, excuse me. Oh, hiccups. Right, never mind. Sandy G, can I please get a card on a relationship? Do you see one coming soon? Okay. Think it's going to be a little while. Okay, not really soon, I'm afraid, but fear not. Okay. What's going to happen is you've got to be totally honest with yourself, all right? Why am I getting that? We're late in the show and the energy's running a little bit low with me at this point, so I'm not sure entirely why I'm getting that, but I'm sure that'll make some sense to you, you know. It's really important to be yourself when you're moving towards a relationship because, you know, whatever we kind of do, whatever we put into effect around ourselves and with ourselves, once a relationship happens, if it's going to last, we have to go into that relationship in a way that either it can last or we can be open to the other person's point of view enough that we can get both people in a situation where the relationship can last. Things are improving there though, Sandy, because I pull this card, Six of Swords, tarot card. Better times are coming. Yeah, Alice is looking backwards. She can only see the rough water. The sheep shopkeeper is looking forward. She's also the Queen of Pentacles in this deck, and she's the Six of Swords boat driver. She is steering the boat, and she's looking forward, and she can see smoother waters. Okay, so yeah, better times coming, and it looks like someone else rowing your boat there. So it's coming to you. It's coming to you. Okay. I want to say kind of probably October-ish, November, in time for Christmas. That's what I want to say. That's what it seems to me. I think it'll be, at least it will have started well before Christmas. Hope that helps you, Sandy, and thanks for your question. Lena asks, may I have a card, please? Thank you. Yes, you may, Lena. You certainly may. I'm going to bring out the Syrian Starseed Tarot for you, actually. And this is a mad deck. It's really good, but the cards are so big. Look at the size of that. There's my hand, and there's the cards. They're absolutely massive. Here's a standard size coffee mug, and you know the cards are bigger than my mug. Right, absolute craziness. They're pretty hard to shuffle, these ones. You spill them on the floor a lot when you work with this deck. But that's no bad thing, because it's usually the cards that you spill on the floor that actually are the ones you're supposed to pull out of the deck in the first place. And I very nearly lost the Eight of Crystals on the floor there. So this is the one for you. This is Glastonbury Tor. I often talk about the sacredness of Glastonbury Tor. This is actually St. Michael's Tower, which is built on the top of Glastonbury Tor. So the Eight of Crystals, this is as above, so below. And there's a feeling of longings and desires with this card as well. But positive action to actually make things happen. And I want to say decisions being made. So it feels like you've been making decisions, and I've got to tell you they are good decisions. Okay, if you've been wondering if you've been making the right decisions or not, this card is pretty much saying, yes, you have. Things are going in the right direction, most certainly. All right, but with the whole thing of Glastonbury Tor, I want to say to you, try and travel somewhere to a sacred site, all right? Difficult in these crazy times with the world the way it is at the moment, but seriously consider traveling to a sacred site. Could be a Native American site, could just be a really ancient Inca site. I don't know, wherever you are in the world, travel to a sacred site, Lena. That's what's coming in for you there. Sort of strong and powerful. But yeah, be willing to make decisions. But certainly with a card like the Eight of Crystals, you've got the as above, so below of the figure eight, the eternity of the figure eight. You have got spirit people working with you, okay? Not just spirit guides, but people who've passed away and gone to the other side working with you all the time. We all have, actually, but it's worth underlining it sometimes. And for Lena, they're doing that more than usual at the moment. So they're responding to your needs. Marcy says, thank you, Andy. Yep, you are right. So right, thanks. That is great to know, actually. That is really, really great to know. Okay. Now then, yeah, welcome, Donna. I didn't see you come in there, Donna, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, welcome to Geeta. Thank you for joining us, Geeta. Is there a marriage for me in the future, and when? Right, time for this pendulum now, my Reiki pendulum. So there's healing needed, something needs to heal, okay? That is part of the answer to when. Yes, it's giving me a yes to marriage for you in the future, but something needs to heal. And we'll do a card on that, Geeta. Maybe more than one card, we'll see where we're drawn, where we're taken. So I'm shuffling my deck now focusing on that question. Okay, but the when part is something needs to heal first. There's a sort of a battle of the egos going on. See what's happening here? It's kind of a pointless battle. They're attacking each other with pink flamingos, and egos need to be soothed. There's someone's ego getting in the way there. Okay, that's what really needs to heal. Also, you need to let go of past concerns as well. You know, worries that you've had in the past. And I feel that there's a man around who's also worried about things that have happened to him in the past. But generally speaking, it's pretty good news. The card I've got here is the 10 of Swords. So it's not going to be easy to heal. There are a lot of feelings involved. Okay, and we can see someone's broken to bits here, but there is no blood. This is quite a positive card, believe me, right? You've got to close the door on the past, Gita, before that relationship can really take off and develop into a marriage, right? But there is marriage in the future for you. We can see behind the big stone wall in this card, way back in the distance, there's a light shining over the top of that grey wall. And that is the light in the distance. So it's going to take some time. The when is just, you know, when things heal, honestly. That's the best I can say on that. Let me tune in and see if I can see something. We're looking a couple of years down the line, right? Sorry, that's a long way. But marriage, you know, it's a whole life thing. So, you know, take heart and be in the right place. I feel a relationship quite soon, developing into marriage a couple of years down the line. Thanks for your question, Gita. You've always been hurt in a relationship. Yeah, I know the feeling, Gita. I have as well. You know, none of mine have ever worked out really well. Really unfortunate, you know. But yeah, try and let go of the past, because just because things have gone wrong in the past doesn't mean they're going to go wrong in the future. That's a real fact of life. It's very human to get that feeling, because we learn from experience, don't we? But there are so many different people. You know, it's not like I ate this food and I got ill, in which case that food doesn't agree with you and it'll probably always be unhealthy for you to eat that food. There are so many different people. The people that were bad for you in the past aren't going to be the same as the people you meet in the future. So hang on to that and keep looking forward, my friend. Okay. Thanks for your question, Gita. Good luck with it. GGB, any messages for me? Andy, if you can, many blessings, and many blessings to you, Gigi. Thank you so much. Right. I've just been told you don't hold all the aces, but you hold some of them. Okay. Things have got to change. This, a bit like what I was saying to Gita just a second ago, you need to be letting go of the past if you possibly can. All right. But eventually you'll hold all the aces. You already hold some of them. So things are going in the right direction. Kind of also try and detach from drama if you can. I feel a lot of confusion around you, Gigi, as you try to look forward in life. I feel there's a lot of confusion there. Try and detach from the drama that arouses within you. Okay, try and just take a deep breath and just stop everything. You know, I don't mean stop everything for any length of time, but stop everything for long enough for you to actually breathe, you know, because you hold a lot more power over your future than you think you do. Okay, so stop, slow down, breathe. Think really carefully also about the future. And you've got a certain amount of power to change something that's important to you at the present time, Gigi, but try and use that power wisely, okay? And like hang on to it. For example, if you've got to tell someone something and let the cat out of the bag, keep some of the cat in the bag so you can let it out at a later date, because it'll come in handy again. It will. Hope that helps you, Gigi. Okay. Tessie. Hello, Tessie. All right, Sharon Milton, thank you so much if you're watching, Sharon. Yeah, just your reading payment has come through. I will email you after the show, and we'll sort it all out. Okay. Socialist virtual hug. You got this. Great stuff. Very positive energy, Tessie. I'm really glad you're with us. Okay. A card on when to, where you want to live. Right, you've the card I've drawn for you is the King of Swords, right? So there's someone's got to make a big decision, right? You want to live somewhere else, absolutely for sure. But there's a male energy here that doesn't really want, well, probably wants to move, but doesn't want to move to the same place you want to move. So you might have to find some compromise about that. Okay. Now, bear in mind, I feel there's an opportunity for you to move at the moment, and you don't want to let go of that opportunity. But other opportunities will most definitely come around. Okay. So really try not to worry about it. A mad example from what's been going on with me. I'm making a model of a really old British fairground ride at the moment called a waltzer, and I had to buy some miniature screws that you can't get anymore, and I found 10 on eBay and I needed 16, and I was really fed up because I don't know where I'd ever get them again. A few weeks ago I found another 10 for sale on eBay, so now I've got 16 and 4 left over. Took about a year, right? And so what you need to do is try and let go of this for the moment, Tessie, because you are going to move. It is going to be good. It's going to be where you want to be as well. It really is, okay? But that King of Swords guy has got to make his mind up in a positive way. You've got to kind of help him make his mind up. But if you try and rush him, I don't think it's going to help. Don't worry, though, okay? Because any opportunity that you feel you're missing at the moment will come round again, and you will always be able to sort of get where you need to go. So really try not to worry about it, my friend. Okay, thanks for your question, Tessie, and thanks for your very positive energy. Wishing you every blessing. I really am. So at this point, guys, this is interesting. Linda, Texas here. We had a real frog strangler of rain here earlier, but we sure needed to cool down a bit. I love that expression, a real frog strangler. It's lovely connecting with people in different parts of the world and getting these expressions. A frog strangler. I shall remember that. I can picture what that means. Sometimes on Netflix, I watch Australian stuff, and they got a snack in Australia called Dippity Bix. I just think that's a great name. They're these biscuits that you dip in something. I don't know what it is, cheese or sugar or something. But this one says, "Mom, where's me Dippity Bix?" It made me laugh, you know. But hey, great, frog strangler. I shall remember that. I really shall. My friends, we're coming close to the end of the show at this point. I always knock it off around about 90 minutes just because the energy drops with me, you know, and I'm not quite so accurate. But if there's any burning questions, type them in now and I'll do very quick cards on them. Okay. Ooh. Right. That's an interesting one, Lisa. Let's do that. I'm going to try and find the card. I haven't got time to go through the whole deck, but I'm going to have a quick flick through and see if I can find it. I can't totally remember it, to be honest. I want to look at the cards so I can remember it. It's one way, isn't it? Go through the whole deck looking at the cards. It's worth it, though. I want reminding of this. I really do. It's come up for a reason, so I'm going to find it. I'm now more than halfway through the deck, so it must come soon. It's near the end. Right, got it. Okay. Right, yeah, I do have a special interpretation of this one, actually, Lisa. I really do. It's Archangel Metatron, so it's very high, very powerful, that energy, kind of high up, really high up. But what I really pick up on this card is the healing coming in ribbons. I've been told to say that so many times when I tune into my guides with this card. Those ribbons of healing are kind of coming all over the person who's asking the question at the time. So maybe they're coming all over you, Aaron, son. Maybe. There's also 3 hearts, and they're up above the head. This makes me think of family in the spirit world. Okay. Also, that number 3 is just a very, very positive spiritual number. Things come in 3s, you know. They say bad things come in 3s, but good things come in 3s as well. It's just a thing that comes in, that, you know, 3 is just a thing that things come in. There are 3 pentagrams on there as well. Also indicates spiritual connections, you know, with people in the afterlife, as I interpret the card. That's not the only meaning of a pentagram. It means abundance as well. But with this card, it really makes me focus on there being strong spirit guide presences around someone. Not strictly speaking guides, although our loved ones and relatives will guide us, but, you know, really, strictly speaking, loved ones and relatives in the spirit world sending healing. Okay, that's really my interpretation of that card. Thank you for making me think of that. There'll be a reason. I'll draw this card again really soon, and I'll need to have thought about that first. So I appreciate you asking that question, Lisa. I really do. Yeah, Angel Metatron card. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So, Beverly saying, thank you, Andy. Enjoyed the 30 minutes you got to watch live. Blessings to you, my friend. Blessings to you too, my friend, Beverly. And thanks for all your positive energy that you put into this. Okay, this is going to have to be a very quick one, hey, because the energy kind of drops with me and I'm not quite so good at stuff. Is my grandma doing better after my Uncle Juan's death? It has been really difficult for her. I live 2 hours away and can't be there. That is difficult. That is difficult when you're concerned about someone. Let's pick up the healing. This is a Reiki pendulum, that's why I call it the healing pendulum. Let's just ask for a yes or no on that. Yeah, she's doing better. That's a yes to doing better. It was quite a slow movement and quite a small pendulum. So it's a long journey for her to heal, quite honestly, and it's going to take time. It's going to take time. But it was a yes. Okay, and I also want to say to you, don't worry too much about living so far away. The angels are on the case. I believe you've been asking the angels. The angels are on the case. Okay, and I'm sure we all wish you love and send you hugs on that one, and you know, send her healing as well. Really. Okay. Absolute last question of the show, this, guys. I've got to stop after this. Okay. Joy says, wondering about getting a pet due to my age. I'm not sure. Some of us live to close to 100, others no. Right. Purely on a psychic level, I'm saying yes, okay? It would actually be pretty good for you to have a pet around you at the present time, Joyce. I feel that you've been quite a long time without a pet, and I feel you've got a lot of love to give a pet. I also feel that should your life come to an end before the pet's life does, the angels will be on the case and they will provide, because all animals have people in the spirit world looking after them as well. Absolutely. Whatever happens will be the right thing. I promise you. So my suggestion is, yes, get a pet. I would get a pet. I'm going to suggest a cat. We're all kind of cat lovers and perhaps dog lovers as well on this channel, I notice. So I suppose I would suggest a cat because I think they're the best pets. I love my cats, as everyone knows who watches regularly. You probably know that as well. Cats are really good at looking after themselves, okay? They're pretty good. If life gets difficult, if you get ill or something, cats are pretty good at looking after themselves. So I'm going to suggest a cat. That's kind of what's come to me in more ways than one. So with that, friends, Lisa is saying, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and ring the notification bell for Andy. Yes, please do that, guys. It helps no end. It really does. Thanks so much for 2K subs. I know a lot of you have subscribed who are watching now. I really appreciate those subscriptions, guys. It makes such a big difference. It really does. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. If you're watching the replay or the upload of this video, I hope you've got something out of it, guys. You know, if you don't want to come into the chat for whatever reason, I totally understand that. Just like what you can do in future ones, right? Pick a number, okay, between like 1 and 20 or something, I don't know, it's up to you. Pick a number and count through the cards I pull till that number comes up. And that'll be your card as well as the person I pulled the card for. Okay? And Patty says, thank you for connecting me to an angel here on earth. Beverly, couldn't agree more. Bless you for that. And bless you for saying that. Wonderful. Teresa Baldassar says, like and subscribe. Yeah, please do it. Guys, if you'd like to support my work, I'd massively appreciate it. Coffee.com/twig, paypal.me/twigbrother. Those two links are down there in the description. And there's also my email, 35and83@gmail.com. If you'd like a personal reading, or if you'd just like to get in touch, it's good to talk. I look forward to reading stuff, you know, so like and subscribe. Leave me a comment as well if you're watching the upload in the future. It's always good to share the journey with you guys, and it gets our spirit guides all zeroed in together. So on that note, friends, big thanks to you for being here on this occasion. It's been absolutely great. As M. Steve says, catch you next time. I look forward to catching you all next time. Patricia Franzino says, thank you for all the readings today, Andy. Patricia, thanks for all the love and light today, too. Wonderful stuff. Have a great time ahead, my friends. Be good to each other. And I'm saying love and light to every single one of you. Stay safe. Be good to each other. Blessings and peace.